Here's the Leica store. Here's the M11. I'm gonna steal that fucking thing. Yeah. Hey guys, I got this for my birthday, for my lovely wife. It's what we call in Germany a Gutschein, and it's for a weekend in Leitz-Park in Wetzlar. Yeah, I think you ask, what the heck is a Leitz-Park? It's kind of an amusement park, but for camera enthusiasts like me. And what makes this place so special is that the world best cameras are made there, namely the ones from Leica. So, what's included in the Gutschein? One night with breakfast, free entrance to the museum. Okay. 90 minutes VIP tour. That was really good. Product consultation with loan product. Ooh, yeah. Hot drink with a piece of cake in the Café Leitz. I take advantage of that loaner like there's no tomorrow. I tested around 6 cameras in 2 days. Ooh. In the process, I wanted to solve one question. Can a digital Leica M reach the quality and fun of an analog Leica like the M6? I think this question is really asked by many of you out there because of the high film prices right now. And this video is only part 1 because 6 cameras in one big video is way too much. So let's get started. Whether I stole a Leica or not, I will tell you soon. This trip started with an unusual amount of fog. And after we have passed the silent hill, we have reached our destination, the Leitz-Park in Wetzlar. And of course the first thing you do after such a long ride is grab your camera and just go for it. For the Leitz-Park it is not necessary to own a Leica, but you feel somehow cooler with it. I loaded an Ilford XP2 because I also had absolutely no idea what to expect. Oh yeah, and this time I haven't forgotten the rainy days bathroom shot. At the reception I got this goodie bag here, and it's full of stuff. But I will unpack it next episode, so subscribe so you don't miss it. We started with our VIP tour, and here is our tour guide Hans-Joachim. He has guided us really well through the Leica side. And this is only a small part of the big Leica Museum. Various milestones in the Leica history are exhibited here. And my god, there are a lot of cameras here. This for example is the digital scan camera S1. The Leica Flex SLR camera. Leica's biggest milestone, the M3. And a Leica 2. And this is one of the first cameras ever. And this is the holy hall of everything. On the left side is usually the production, which I was not allowed to film. But you are only here for the cameras anyway, right? There are just too many to show in one video, so just come here and see for yourself if you can. I was surprised that the original M6 had a Leitz logo, but after the new M6 reveal that's pretty clear to everyone now. If you are wondering why Leica no longer makes affordable film cameras, you might want to have a look at the Leica CL history. I also didn't know that Leica made so many plastic point and shoots. I was also surprised to see so many camera models that I have never heard before. And here the wall of high prices, or as others call them, special editions. This bright model immediately caught my attention, especially design is very special for an M. After the tour I was even allowed to take lenses from a box of real camera lenses that were no longer used in production. A really cool souvenir. Okay, a few more visits and I can assemble my own lens. Yeah, or maybe not. Next we went to our hotel room and see what is waiting for us there. So here is our room. There are even special rooms that are called dark room and light room, for real. And now we have finally come to the part many have been waiting for. Try out cameras. Yeah, well, maybe not this big thing here. If there is a land of milk and honey for cameras, then this is pretty close. And here a new version of the 35mm Summilux with improved close focusing distance. And there she is, the glorious M11. So, do I have stolen a Leica camera? Of course not. I have bought mine like any other Leica owner out there. Fortunately, one kidney is enough to live. Anyway, unlike any other store out there, you can leave your ID card there and get every camera and lens combination you want. You can take it outside and make photos and use it in the whole Leitz-Park, even in the nature trail there. For 2 hours! That's crazy! It's probably not the most exciting place in the world to photograph, okay, I give it that, but it's more than enough to get a good impression of any camera you get there. Oh boy, what a beauty! Tell me in the comments if you like your Leica black or silver. Of course, these won't be the most exciting sample images, but at least I could test whether the camera resembles an analog film M or not. And of course, all the black and white pictures are from my wife. Okay, so what were my initial thoughts when I had the camera in my hand? The silver one is 20% heavier than the black one, since it was made out of brass, and so it felt extremely dense and also really heavy for its size. Here you can see the M11 and M6 in comparison. This Summicron I had on this camera also felt relatively high quality in contrast to the Folklander on the M6. But I have to say, except for the fact that the M11 has a screen, the photography feeling really felt one-to-one with an analog camera. And of course you also get plus 10 charisma if you were a Leica M. It also takes the tension away when you know that not every picture costs money. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know yet. What Leica is more than capable of is designing a satisfying shutter sound. Every picture is just incredible fun to shoot simply because of this feeling and the sound the camera makes through the shutter. However, this is really hard to get across in a video. The perceived density of the camera and the new finish, together with a wonderful shutter sound, makes the camera feel modern and at the same time a higher perceived quality as opposed to an analog M. That means just anyone who knows an analog M feels right at home. However, it must be said that the lens has a great influence on how you photograph with an M. let's talk briefly about the sensor and the image quality you can get out of it. In short, this is the best full-frame sensor I think you can get for any camera at the moment. No highlights are lost here, the shadows can really be recovered from the darkest depths, and the richness of detail in each photo is simply more than overwhelming. And because the new M11 has a better exposure system, there are no more burnt out areas in contrast to the M10. And the design is one of the highlights anyway, because there is no more beautiful camera than this one in my opinion. So, now my question has been answered whether a digital M feels the same when photographing as an analog M. I hope I could help a few people here with exactly the same question, since this is really not often asked. Oh, and a little tip, if you take your Leica M to the workshop in the morning, they will set the rangefinder there for free of charge. Yeah, and I learned this in the afternoon. I bought my M11 not in Wetzlar that day, but in a great offer online. Someone else opened the box of this camera before and yeah, it's like $1,000 off. So if you ever wondered how much an unboxing of an M11 costs, yeah, it's about $1,000. Crazy. Tell you more about the M11 in a separate review, if it was buying this overpriced camera a good idea or not. Oh, my kidney. Let's get some cake. After all these impressions, we first needed a break from this, so we sat down in the cafe. I also found out that the shutter of my M6 does not work reliably anymore. Luckily, I found it out when I was back home. I had a raspberry cake and my wife a piece of chocolate banana, and man, that was good. Aim for the next camera, I say. And this one is more interesting for my viewers because I think every Fuji viewer squinted at this camera at least once. It's the Leica Q2, but I will explain why I don't like it as much as an M while I'm taking photos with it. But from my facial expressions you can already see that I think the quality of workmanship is more than outstanding. I've tested the camera in Leica's Museum, where they have many great stations set up to demonstrate different aspects of photography. Here you can see that I was confused for a moment. For some reason the image was sometimes just blurry. I thought it was the diopter settings. But if you don't look at the EVF exactly from the front, the image is not really sharp. But since I haven't heard much about it, it just could be me. Maybe you'll get used to it. The museum is awesome and really worth a visit. What I really like about the Q is the really quiet leaf shutter, which you can barely hear. But I'm not a fan of 28mm at all. The distortion there is too much for me, so I shot most of the photos in 35mm mode. Hashtag when you look too much through a viewfinder. What I liked the best was the setup with these two fans constantly blowing at you. Finally, it's worthwhile to have long hair. Some rooms had very difficult lighting situations, but the right balance of the Q always nailed it. And as with the M, the design here is also a real feast for their eyes. Time to feel like a princess. From a purely price to performance perspective, the Q is the best camera Leica has to offer. You can get a camera and a lens together for the price of an M10. The only problem is that you are limited to 28mm. On this carousel you should not sit too long, otherwise you no longer run very straight. It's also nice that with the Q you have autofocus, but also the possibility to focus manually with a focus tab. The only thing I don't like about the camera design is that the lens is front heavy in contrast to the body, and this feels not very balanced. But I don't think that is really a problem. In addition, the body feels a bit hollow, but that is probably only noticeable if you had the brick M11 before in the hand. But all the weird stuff aside, I really love this camera. It's pretty fantastic. And we haven't even talked about the absolute killer image quality of the Summicron that's on the Q. Anyone who is really interested in this camera should try it out somewhere. I always thought the Q is just a bit better Fuji camera, but it really feels much different. I really enjoyed my time with the Q2. In part 2 of our Leica visit I will also play around with the Q2 monochrome. At our terrain I noticed that obviously no hipsters are allowed, but you can bring your dogs with you, so I'm sorry hipsters. After the meal I also saved a nice non-alcoholic beer. On the way to dinner we saw a lot of beautiful photo books in the waiting room. The dish in the Oscar Barnack restaurant was really delicious. The food was good, we were full, the ambience was excellent. What could you more want from a dinner? Was it with day 1 and with this video. Next time we unbox this one here. And I tell you more about the M10, M10R, the Q2 monochrome and the SL2. Wow, this video will be packed, so subscribe, like this video, tell me what you think about the cameras, and until next time guys, bye!